Hello and happy Pi Day for those of you in the United States. Elsewhere, you're like, it's 14/3. How is that pi? But in the United States, it is 3/14, which of course is Pi Day. As the founder of a company called Pi, special place in my heart. But you know what goes really well with pie?
Do you want pie with your coffee?
Coffee. And that is why I'm also really happy to announce, if you haven't already seen it, that Built alum of ours that we had the opportunity to work with as part of our accelerator program, Gay Awakening Coffee, has been picked up for all 21 new seasons, stores, and of course, coffee goes well with pie. So, congratulations to Gay Awakening Coffee and getting picked up in all 21 stores. Again, not sponsored, just super proud as somebody who has been a very small, seemingly insignificant part of Nicole's amazing journey. So if you happen to frequent the new seasons, consider picking up some of Nicole's products at your local new seasons because it's available everywhere. So, March being Women's History Month, we wanted to take the opportunity to celebrate women founders in our midst who are doing amazing things, who are juggling all kinds of stuff, but still building really meaningful pursuits here in town, or who have also maybe experienced some difficulty, but have survived, who have prospered and persevered through those difficulties and still have amazing stories to share. So as part of that, we took the opportunity because, we're trying to do something on the second Tuesday of every month to bring the community together to celebrate startup activity. This month, it was another Startup Founders Where Are They Now, where we got to bring a bunch of amazing women founders to the stage, hosted by Cami Chaos. I would like to take the opportunity to highlight each of the founders who joined us for this conversation. And of course, I'll link up the video so you can see all of the interviews with these folks because they were amazing. Some of them, I mean, honestly, trigger warning. Some of them are very rough and very real and very emotional. And I'm really humbled that we created an environment where these founders felt comfortable sharing so much with the community. And I thank them for taking the opportunity to share things with the community. But some of them are a little challenging, but I will link it up so that you can see it. And, please comment, please follow these founders, please support them in the next phase of their journey. I hate if you're on the podcast, you're like, what are you talking about? But if you're watching the video on YouTube, like I have to look down to read everybody through. So I'm just going to read off the names and their affiliation of sorts so that you know who appeared. And of course, once you get to the video, if you're like, oh, I really want to focus on this person or see what they had to say, everything's cut up into chapters. So you can jump to exactly whom you would like to view, but I hope you take the opportunity to view all, maybe not all in one sitting, but maybe take the opportunity to spend time with each of these founders if you didn't get the chance to attend the event. And if you did, I hope you revisit and reflect on the stories that these founders shared, because each and every one of them is super insightful, super impactful, has something you can take away and that will make your journey and your life better. And again, just really thankful that each and every one of these folks took the opportunity to join us for this event. So let's go through this. I'm going to read again. Okay, so we started off with Laurel Burton and Tessa Baston. Laurel is the CEO. Tessa is the CPO, the Chief People Officer of Instrument. They hosted the event. Great conversation there. Sylvia Salazar of Tono Latino took some time to take us through what it's like educating people about modern day politics, as it were. Hazel Valdez, who is now with Literary Arts, but was previously with PDX Wit when she was in Pi. Kat Miller, early, way back when in Pi, but also now her new pursuit is Foxbox. And this is one of those really challenging ones that even just thinking back is challenging, but like her energy and her passion around solving a problem that came directly out of like significant trauma she and her family experienced is well worth watching, and always thankful to Kat when she takes the opportunity to share her story. Like she's one of the good ones, and an amazing story. So I encourage you to watch that one specifically if you can. Went to Johannes, working on one of the, if not the largest, like reclamation projects of property and rebuilding and development in the United States, if not the world, specifically for the Black community. Just a really interesting story. If you haven't tuned in to the Albina Vision Trust story, great grounding for you there. Ada Nicolaitis, who was one of the later Pi in the WK, Wieden & Kennedy days, one of the companies that came through there. Great insights into like the inspiration for the business, but also where the business is today. Jocelyn Rice, who part of the Built community, was on our board, was like creating, like she's done everything from like Columbia to the Design Museum to building her own brand of apparel, and interestingly, like building a Black focused apparel brand in the whitest city in the country. Super interesting there to hear her perspective and her insights. Catherine Reinhold, who personally thankful has taken the helm at Built Oregon to really lead it into the next era, taking over for Mitch Doherty, and more importantly to me, taking over my interim director job at Built Oregon. So lots of insights there. And then finally, Julia Nero, who joined us at Pi, was really part of that last Pi class that really had a true demo day that wasn't some weird, like manufactured virtual demo day kind of thing. Like she was on stage, she showed up, people showed up at the Aladdin Theater, and it was one of those like great community events. But also Julia was one of those people who appeared on the TEDx Portland stage, who really told an amazing story there as well. Again, another one of those things where Julia had an amazing startup that went through some incredible challenges, and she was willing to share some of those insights as part of this event. And I'm getting emotional just rethinking and revisiting what all these people were willing to contribute to the crowd. So I hope you take the time to view their interviews and the discussion. And I'm again really humbled that we have a community that trusts us to help share their stories in a meaningful way, and to give them a platform to talk through their challenges, and not just somewhere that celebrates their wins or like pits them against other founders in a pitch competition. Like, yeah, But anyway, please take the time to spend some time with these amazing women founders and the stories they have to tell. I really am, again, honored and humbled that we're able to share these stories with you, and we look forward to sharing many more. I don't even want to do the, you're supposed to do the thing where it's like, hey, leave a like, but that's fucking stupid. Like, if you're motivated to leave a like, you will leave a like. And I would appreciate it, but I'm not going to even ask you like that. That just feels like I'm pandering to you, and I respect you more than that. So please, we'll edit this and get you back to the real content of what I'm providing here. Got a little emotional there, but like, let's bring it up a notch. The positive, happy. The next event we are organizing is April 8th for the Portland startup community, like we did in January, where we had 400 or so people show up, and come hang out with one another, meet people, do things, and all that kind of stuff. Doing that again in April. We'll probably do it on a quarterly basis. But people are like, why should I go? What is this thing? And I've been trying to think of an analogy or a feeling that you might have from these kind of events. And the best thing I've come up with so far is what I was kind of hoping it would be. And luckily, I didn't make it happen. It just kind of happened. I was hoping it would be it, and it made it to being the thing. Is these quarterly networking events where we partner with a variety of other organizations in the community. There's the Prosper Portland helps, the Metro Region Innovation Hub helps. AI Portland is there, TIE is there, OEN is there, any number of amazing support organizations in the community are all collaborating with Pi and Silicon Florist and Built to make this happen. But the thing that I want this event to be, the thing I'm hoping this event will be is, when you go to those industry events, maybe you were just at South by, maybe you took the opportunity to go to CES at the beginning of the year, maybe you've been to Mobile World Congress, maybe you've been to Web Summit, whatever it is, those big events. It could be PyCon, it could be RubyConf, it could be OSCON. Whatever, it's an industry event where you show up and the event is solid. You're this is good programming. I enjoy being here. I'm glad I attended. I'm glad I paid the ticket price, or perhaps my corporation footed the ticket price. Whatever the case is, it's one of the situations where you have a really interesting event that brings a lot of people together. But if we're being honest, the real value is in the hallway discussions, or in the after parties, or in the side parties. You show up in a venue, no programming, just a bunch of people, and just magic happens. You can't even explain it. It's just putting people in a space for random collisions and things where they can interact with one another. So, short story long, that is what these networking events are designed to be. It is not, we don't have a big event that it's anchored to. It's just if you detached that networking, get to know one another event associated with the larger event, that's what this event is on a quarterly basis. So just think of Portland as the event that's occurring, all the time, making things happen. And this is the after party or the side party to the Portland startup community. Just show up, come hang out, Meet some people. I don't know who you're going to meet. You might meet somebody really interesting. You might be hanging out with your friends that you always hang out with. You might like show up, make a round, and check out. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think it will be valuable to you. Happening April 8th. We still don't have the location. We're trying to figure it out because we're up to like more than 400 RSVPs right now. And if you've ever programmed an event in Portland, we're getting to that really difficult size to figure out where to host it, but we will figure it out. Just keep RSVPing. Like, please challenge us. Get us up to 1,000 RSVPs. Like, just make us do the work because we want to bring the community together in a meaningful way to just help you all get connected with one another. And no programming, no promotion, no none of that. Just a lot of really amazing organizations that are coming together to help you get connected with the Portland startup community. I know the best feedback I received at the last event was probably, 5 people came up to me with all feedback along the lines of, I just moved to Portland. I didn't know how to get connected with the startup community. I heard about this thing, and this has been the best thing ever. And that kind of feedback, that kind of engagement is why we're doing this. We just want people to be more engaged, to get connected, to have those random collisions within the community that help them feel like they're part of the Portland startup community, that get them on that path to getting them more widely connected in our community. So regardless of where you are along the spectrum, maybe you just moved here. That's the wrong side because I forget this is reversed. Maybe you just moved here. Maybe you just, you're starting to get to know people. Maybe you don't know anything that's going on, but you're in this space. And then there are all these people who are like, I've been here forever. I feel like I know everybody and I know everything. Let's get these two groups together. Let's make stuff happen. So that's what April 8th is about. Please RSVP if you can. Even if you're like, I kind of think I might want to go to that. RSVP so we can find a venue that will support all of this. Again, we're over 400 RSVPs right now. I would not be surprised to see it continue to creep up to larger numbers, but would love to have you there. Would love to support you and ensure that you get connected in the Portland startup community. So please, if that's of interest to you, please RSVP. I will link it up. This one landed a little late in the week. Disputed.ai landed $1.1 million in funding. They're former SeatGeek folks, and what they recognized was there's this weird like disputed chargeback difficulty, which even for large companies is a huge undertaking, let alone smaller companies where it's like, oh, I got this charge on my credit card and I'm going to dispute it. And then you don't agree. And then you have to go dispute it with this other party and all these things. How do they simplify that problem? How do they make that easier for people to deal with that? That's what Disputed.ai is working on. And obviously, as you can tell by the URL, how do we use AI to help mitigate some of that stuff? So Disputed.ai has been working on this for a while. They just went out and raised a round of $1.1 million, but no institutionals in there, none of that stuff, just going out to high net worth individuals or angels to kind of cobble that together to give them the runway to move this stuff forward. So I've been tracking them for a while. I saw them, I don't know if they were at Demolicious or something else, but like I saw their name, classically opened them in a tab on my browser and kept paying attention to them to see what was going on. But this is like big news for them. Thank you so much to Malia Spencer at the Portland Business Journal for covering the story. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known. exactly what was going on. And just wanted to highlight that Disputed AI has raised $1 million and some change in venture capital, and I will continue to watch their journey and will, of course, write up a post early next week. But it got to me too late for me to cover it this time. But I just wanted to share it with you. We're friends. We're friends here. I wanted to give you the inside scoop on what was going on even before I wrote it up on the blog. So keep an eye on Disputed AI, and if you have disputed charges, check out Disputed AI. And with this $1 million, really excited to see what they do next. Speaking of investors, like I know I said high net worth individuals, but this is more like aggregated high net individuals, all, and also institutional. Our friends at the Oregon Venture Fund, John Maroney and crew, have been doing a great job of putting together regular gatherings to highlight AI companies in town and what they're building. And what I love about this is it's not a pitch competition. I'm so tired of pitch. I am so tired of pitch competitions. I'm so tired of like founder is tribute. Like, are you not entertained? Like pitch like great. I'm a huge fan of pitch events that are like, yeah, maybe somebody gets a little more money, but everybody gets compensated for participating in this. That's fine. I'm cool with that. Like, if everybody's getting something for like being part of it, great. But these things where it's like, let's cram a bunch of people into the same room and like have all them pitch against one another, and then somebody gets a big check for like $5,000. Like, honestly, I'm just tired of it, because founders deserve better than that. And, yeah, we have more than enough pitch competitions around town. So please don't program any additional pitch competitions for the sake of the founders in our midst. Please do not program any additional pitch competitions. Like, make sure, or program pitch competitions to your fucking heart's content, but like make sure everybody who participates receives some financial contribution as part of participating. Like, that's what I love about Pitch Black, Pitch Latino, like these kind of level events is like, yeah, we're putting up people on stage, and yeah, Pitch Latino just had even Pitch Latino Tri-Cities. Like, we're putting founders on stage, but even the founders who take the opportunity to participate are getting some value out of it in terms of financial reward. That's all I'm saying. Like, don't put people up there and then be like, oh, yeah, that was good. Okay, cool. Thanks, we're out. Like, make it worthwhile. And on the founder side, look at the pitch competitions, and if what you need, again, I know there are plenty. We've got plenty of pitch competitions. And if there's an existing pitch competition and you are a founder who needs reps on your presentation, if you need to test drive it, or you need like, my hook's not quite landing, or like, I don't know if this part is working, or is this going to resonate with the crowd? Great. That pitch competition has value to you because you are test driving something for your company. But it's really this little intersection of like, I need money, I have a pitch competition. Like 9 times out of 10, that's not going to work for anyone. So, just like, if a pitch competition is a valuable venue for you to participate and practice what you need to practice, great. Please participate. If you are running a pitch competition and you have the wherewithal to reward every single founder that participates, please take the opportunity to do that, because we can do this. We can do something meaningful for our community where the people who want to run events with founders pitching and the founders pitching both like get something valuable out of it. And that's all I'm saying. Like, I don't want to dissuade organizations from running I do kind of want to dissuade organizations. Just do a demo day. It's a fucking demo day. Like, just do a like demo day. Like, that's what I like about the OVF thing, is it's not a competition. It's just a demo. It's like, you got a thing, just demo it. There's no winner. Just demo your thing. Tell people what you're doing. There's no competition. Like, I don't know how you build. I don't know how you build community by creating competition. That is so confusing to me. And I've been doing this for 30 years. I don't know how competition builds community, but that's what I like about the OVF stuff. It's just a demo. Just show up. Talk about what you're doing. You're not competing. Just do your thing. Show your people your thing. But if you feel like there needs to be some competitive aspect to it, reward everybody. Follow Pitch Black's example. Follow Pitch Latino's example. If people are pitching on stage, if founders are taking their like time that is so valuable to show up on your stage, reward them in some way. That's all I'm saying. You do your thing. I'm a data point of one. What the fuck do I know? But like, anyway, I'm not going to solve this problem here. I'm voicing an opinion. I hope it's valuable. Please. And please, if you're an attendee, like, just vote with your feet, vote with your presence. Like, if you feel like something is providing value in your community, then show up to it. That's all I'm saying. Like, we all need to win here. Let's just think about how everybody wins. Okay, soapbox done. Let's get on to the next topic. Wow, that kind of went off the rails, but I got really emotional at the beginning of the podcast or the show with the founders for the Women's History Month event. Just like, so real, so good. But and then I was like, oh, you're all up in your feels, and now you got to talk about all your feels. I'm gonna tone it down. I apologize. OVF AI demo, great. Love demo nights. That's all good. Speaking of kind of pitch events, I already touched on Pitch Black and Pitch Latino, but as I mentioned previously, Pitch Black has begun to expand beyond just being a pitch competition. They're also starting to think through, like, just how are we a community? How are we an organization? And as part of that, Stephen Green really loved that he's actually started this podcast, because, wow, episode 2, stop what you're doing, go find the Pitch Black podcast and go listen to Stephen Green chop it up with Ian Williams. It is amazing, and it is real, and it is like, this is really emotional episode of the thing that I do. And I keep tearing up because, like, Ian just like lets you in behind the scenes of what's going on. And Stephen really draws it out in the Pitch Black podcast. Stephen Green talking to Ian Williams of Deadstock. Just really like heartfelt, thoughtful, foundational, insightful conversation. Of course, I'll link it up. But quit wasting your time here and go listen to those guys talk. Please just go listen to the Pitch Black podcast. Enough said. Like, it's really good. And I, on one side, feel bad for continuing to ride Steven about like, hey, you should get that podcast out. And on the other side, I'm like, damn, son, that's a damn good podcast. Like, I'm so happy that Steven has gotten the podcast out, is having these conversations. So happy he's got guests like Ciara Pressler and Ian Williams. And I know the other people that are coming up. Only expect amazing conversations from them. But like, this is one of those opportunities to listen to people and engage with people who are really providing the truth about what's going on and what it's like to be a founder. So if you're interested, please take the opportunity to subscribe to the Pitch Black podcast. I'm already hooked. We're only a couple episodes in. It's like, I don't even like podcasts. I record a podcast, but I don't really consume podcasts. I mean, apart from like Hansel Minutes and a couple others, but Pitch Black podcast already up there. Have to listen to it every week. So looking forward to the next guest, and I think you should too. Okay, speaking of conversational podcasts, I heard you. I put a poll out. I was like, hey, lots of people have been pushing me to do long form interview podcasts with people in the Portland startup community. And as soon as I put that out there, like, some people are like, yes, why haven't you been doing that? We've been waiting for you to do that. Other people are like, hey, I'm the person you want to talk to. And other people have been like, hey, this is a really good idea and you should do that. And no one said that. No one said it was a really good idea. They just voted on the poll. So I will start scheduling that stuff and doing those interviews and getting them posted here, because clearly that is what many of you want. If you don't want it, it'll be a separate playlist, separate podcast. Don't worry about it. We won't clutter your feed with our long, lengthy, in-depth, insightful, truthful, meaningful conversations. If you just want the fluff that I throw out week to week, just stay here, because I'm all about the fluff. But we'll get into some other conversations here and there, and I sincerely hope you will join us. Like, I know I will enjoy it. I love hearing from the amazing people in our community, and I would love to share that with you. But if that's not your thing, that's cool. Don't worry about it. Like, it will just do that thing. I'll record that thing. Maybe other people will listen. Maybe you'll listen. I don't know. But seriously considering a longer form interview podcast format with interesting people from the Portland startup community. Thanks to everyone who responded to the poll, who provided that feedback on what they would like to see. And thanks to all the folks I've kind of hit up who are like, yeah, I'd totally chat with you for an hour, 90 minutes, figure something out. So it could get interesting, or it could be really fucking boring. I don't know. We will try and see what happens with that format. Setting it up, hopefully have something coming to you soon. Lots of feels here. I understand as a founder, you're always kind of all up in your feels, but you have to keep it contained. You can't really reveal it. You can't kind of tear up on camera like I've been doing throughout the episode. So hang in there. You got this. I know it's rough. I know being a founder is more challenging than you thought it would be. I know it's more stressful than you had hoped it would be, but you got this. Hang in there. And until we get the chance to chat again, please keep up the good work.